Hi there, Dr. J welcoming you back for another video. An important question. How soon should prenatal parenting be started? My take on this is at conception, because the moment you conceive, you become a parent. The responsibility of parenthood has already started. And the moment you find out you're pregnant, think way into the future when your child will be a grown-up person, going to college, going to university, coming out of the university, being a part of the society, getting married, having his own family. What kind of a person do you want him to be or her? What kind of contribution is that individual going to make to the society? And it's important now. Why? Because the brain of your baby, to reach those goals, to reach those ambitions and your dreams, is being laid now in the womb, cell by cell, neuron by neuron, synapse by synapse. But a baby is born, the baby's brain is 100 billion cells. Now, if you divide those 100 billion over a period of 9 months, it works out to roughly about 250,000 cells per minute. Considering that majority of this takes place from the second half of pregnancy, in actual terms, the brain cells are being produced at 500,000 cells per minute from the second half of the pregnancy till term. And with 1.8 million connections being formed between these cells every second. And the connections start forming as early as 2 months of age. So, and the brain of a newborn or the brain of a child developing in the womb has far more nerve cells and far more connections than a grown-up. Why? Because once the baby is born, cells and connections that are not used properly, they start to die. And with the result, literally, we as grown-ups have far less cells and far less connections than the baby developing in the womb or a newborn. The other important thing that we need to talk about is what's called the critical windows of opportunities. Now, critical windows of opportunities are those time frames that open and close in a certain pattern, in a certain manner, within a certain time frame, and that's why they're called critical windows, because once this window is shut, then it doesn't open again. Now, to give you a practical example, let's say a congenital cataract, say for example. Congenital cataract is a condition where the baby is born with an opacity in the lens of the eye and the baby cannot see. Now, if this is not corrected very, very early and you decide to remove it after a few months, the baby's vision is gone. It's not going to come back. It's not restored. Why? Because the critical window of opportunity for the development of vision has gone away. It's shut and it won't open again. Now, the reason it doesn't open again is because you have missed the time frame. And same is for all the vital senses, for hearing, for touch, for speech and language, for emotions, for everything. Now, the same thing happens in the prenatal time as well. The reason why I gave you the example of a newborn is because as human beings, we always say, seeing is believing. So once you have seen a child born with cataract and it's not removed, and then you remove it and it doesn't work, you say, oh wow, yeah, it didn't happen. But because you cannot see the baby developing in the womb, you take things for granted. But the same windows for all the vital senses are there when the baby is developing in the womb. And the biggest window of opportunity, the most critical one in the womb, is for the emotional development. Because emotional centers, the emotion centers in the brain, are being laid down and fine-tuned in the third trimester of pregnancy. And that is really a big thing to understand. Now, most people wait for the baby to arrive and then think about parenting. So once they see the baby, right, oh, okay, now we are parents. We weren't parents until now. Now we are, and now we've got to think about it. Now, parenting starts from conception. From the time you conceive, parenting is started. It's your call, your take, your decision whether to supervise this parenting or to leave it unsupervised. I'll leave the decision to you. Thank you for watching. I'll see you on the next video.